For the third time this week and the second time in less than 24 hours, Crossroads highways have been the scene of fatal crashes. The latest one happened just this afternoon at Loop 463 and Highway 59. We brought it to you first as breaking news at 5, and tonight we're learning more about what may have triggered that accident. It's new tonight at 10 and first on News Center 25. Brianna Connor has been uncovering new details all day. She's live tonight in the newsroom with the very latest. Brianna, those fatal accidents aren't just happening here in the Crossroads. New tonight at 10 o'clock, 8 people, including 3 children, are dead after a fiery two-car crash in East Texas tonight. Troopers say a car carrying 2 men from California crossed a center line on U.S. Highway 82 in the town of Anona, striking the car carrying a woman, her 3 children, and 2 other passengers. All 8 people in both of those cars died in that crash. Anona is about 150 miles northeast of Dallas. With the start of a new year just less than 26 hours away, plenty of people will be celebrating the start of 2012. Law enforcement officials will be out in force, making sure the celebrations don't turn deadly. The Victoria Police Department tells News Center 25 they will be doubling the number of patrols out on the road. They'll also be making courtesy checks in bars and restaurants, looking for people who may have had just one too many. Also reminding people to use designated drivers. If you do need a ride home this New Year's, Citizens Medical Center is offering its MASH service, which will pick up anyone until 4 a.m. on New Year's Day if they've had too much to drink. To call them for more information or to get a ride, the number 361-572-6274. Here's something else to think about while you're celebrating. Fireworks are illegal in most parts of the Crossroads, but there is one place where you can light your fireworks without any worry. Saxett Lake Park will be open tomorrow evening at 5:30 through Sunday morning at 12:30 a.m. Victoria County fire officials and volunteer fire department will be on scene just as a precaution. Missiles with fins or skyrockets with sticks are banned in Victoria County, even inside of Saxett Lake Park. Just a reminder, it is illegal to discharge, manufacture, sell, or transport fireworks within Victoria city limits. Fines can range up to $2,000 for any of those violations. A number of government offices and services will be changed because of the New Year's holiday. All non-emergency offices will be closed at the City of Victoria on Monday, January the 2nd. This also includes the library and the Hoover Recycling Center. Garbage and brush pickup will run on their normal schedules. Tonight, a Houston infant is safe after the child's caregiver was discovered dead this afternoon. Officials say the 68-year-old woman was feeding the boy in a high chair when she dropped dead of natural causes. The woman's grown son found the body, which may have been there for days. His mother was next to the high chair where the boy was still sitting. Tonight, the toddler is in good condition, being treated for dehydration. A San Antonio woman and former military member have been charged with selling more than $900,000 in stolen computers and uniforms from Fort Sam Houston near San Antonio. A federal indictment says Gabriela de la Masa and the unidentified ex-service member spent the money on 5 homes, credit card bills, and other items. They're now charged with theft of federal property, aggravated identity theft, conspiracy to launder money, and money laundering. Her alleged accomplice is accused of forging paperwork that made those thefts possible. If convicted, the duo could face a maximum of 20 years behind bars. The GOP race is reaching a fever pitch as the candidates enter the final weekend before voting starts. With 4 days until the Iowa caucuses, frontrunner Mitt Romney is bringing out one of his big guns, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie. While Romney does have a slight lead in the polls, Christie warned voters in Des Moines not to be complacent. Appearing at a book signing, an emotional Newt Gingrich choked up when recalling his late mother's struggle with mental illness.
You don't do what you're supposed to do on Tuesday for Mitt Romney? I will be back.
But I identify my mother with being happy, loving life, having a sense of joy in her friends.
Gingrich has slipped to 5th in a new NBC Marist College poll, but the race is still fluid, with many Iowa Republicans still undecided. Longtime Texas Representative Ron Paul says if he doesn't receive the GOP nomination, he would have a hard time supporting his rivals in the race for the White House. During an interview, Paul said the field of candidates simply don't differ from Democrats. Paul has attracted support from the coalition of Tea Party supporters, students, and independents. A real-life mystery is unfolding tonight in Hollywood after an arsonist set more than a dozen blazes around Tinseltown overnight. A total of 19 fires were set in the LA area, with the majority of them in Hollywood. 6 of those fires spread from cars to homes and apartment buildings, causing hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage. One of those homes damaged belonged to former Doors frontman Jim Morrison. Investigators are using surveillance video to try and track down those responsible. A $60,000 reward has been offered in connection to information. 2 Maryland doctors facing murder charges related to abortions they allegedly performed tonight. Authorities say the abortions were late-term fetuses that were still viable. Police say they found several fetuses inside of a freezer chest at a clinic in Maryland where the duo worked. Stephen Brigham and Nicole O'Reilly are in jails in New Jersey and Utah awaiting extradition back to Maryland. Both men face 5 counts of first-degree murder, 5 counts of second-degree murder, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. More reasons than one.
Yes.
All right,
meteorological aside.
And the other one as well.
Yes, sociological, as it were.
Bill, thank you so much.
All
Happy
right.
New Year's to you, by the way.
You too, buddy.
All right, take a look at this video from Florida. A woman dragged nearly 40 feet across a grocery store parking lot. Look at this. As robbers tried stealing her purse, a car pulled up beside the woman, grabbed her purse, and she held on for as long as she could before they finally got away. Police caught up with one person after the car crashed into a fence. Right now, police there in Tampa searching for other suspects. Authorities believe the same group is behind 3 other robberies in that area. The woman, fortunately, just had a couple of cuts and bruises, but is expected to be okay. This might be one of the most bizarre things you've ever seen in a shopping center parking lot. Focus on that white SUV there. Look at what it's doing. Police in Alabama say a woman was driving erratically Thursday night when she hit a police car not once, but twice. And then she circled around an ambulance over and over again. At one point, police even fired a shot at her because they said she was headed in the officer's direction. Police did eventually arrest her. The woman was taken to a hospital for a mental evaluation. She's currently being charged with attempted murder. Fortunately, no one was injured. 2011 isn't ending pleasantly for one Michigan man. Get this, police rescued the man from his burning car, only to arrest him and put him behind bars. Police say the 32-year-old accidentally rested his foot on the gas pedal while drunk inside of his car, and that caused the engine to rev for a while, eventually catching the car on fire. After the rescue, the officer arrested the man, who is now being charged with operating under the influence. If you received an iPad or an iPad 2 for Christmas, you may want to take it back and wait for the new iPad 3. There are rumors swirling tonight a new version of the popular tablet will be hitting store shelves soon. A report from USA Today revealed 2 new versions of the iPad will be unveiled next month. The report says the new versions will have a 10-inch screen with dual LED light bars and cameras. Apple is hoping to compete with the Kindle Fire, which has been on fire and extremely popular with sales lately. Verizon Wireless is hanging up an idea that would have had customers paying a $2 convenience fee just to pay their bills, if I can get that out right. America's largest wireless carrier said yesterday it would charge customers $2 every time they pay their cell phone bills over the phone or online with triangles. A few more revelers will be ringing in 2012 than 2011. That's because the U.S. Census Bureau says America's population will hit nearly 313 million on January 1st. That's up 1% from this time last year. The population will continue to grow in January. 1 birth is expected every 8 seconds, with 1 death occurring every 12 seconds. The census also found that international migration will add 1 person to the U.S. population every 46 seconds. Before you ring in 2012, there are some phrases you may want to leave behind in 2011. Lake Superior State University in Michigan released its annual list of words banished from the Queen's English for misuse, overuse, and general uselessness. Here are just some of the words. Baby bump, one of them. Shared sacrifice, that was made popular by members of Congress. Blowback, not really sure what that one is. Trickeration was being used by members of football analysts. Yep. Really wasn't a word, but they just made it up. Ginormous, and thank you in advance, which seems more like a phrase than a word. But those are just some of the words. There are a lot more after that.
Now, man cave should be kept in there, because there are a lot of people. It's getting popular to have man caves.
Man cave is one of those.
Have the big, flat screen TVs, watch the football, pop some popcorn, and just get in your man cave.
That's right. It was a good night to be in a man cave, especially if you were a high school basketball fan.
Yes, indeed. You had to get out of the cave to watch this game.
This is true. But you can watch it now. It was a year full of growth, potential, tragedy, tears, and even boots. It all happened right here in the Crossroads. Before we ring in 2012, News Center 25 anchor Sean Curry takes a look back at some of the area's biggest headlines of 2011.